Hi everyone, thank you for joining the webinar for my Subway career training today. I am sorry about the delay, there was just some issue with the platform, it wasn't starting up. I hope you can hear me and see the screen. Let me make sure, sorry, the screen was not working. All right, you should see the screen in a second. If you could type it in the message or questions box on the right, if you can hear me and see the screen, if someone can write that in so we can begin. No, I can't see any responses. Are you able to hear me and see the screen? Anyone please type it in the questions box on the right. Oh, great. Thank you, Casey, for confirming. All right, so we just wait for 30 seconds for some other people to join and we will begin shortly. All right, let's begin. So my name is Asher. I will be taking you through the training today. Just some housekeeping stuff. So by default, everyone is on mute. So if you have any questions during the webinar, please type them into the questions box. I'll be looking at it now and then to answer your questions. And yeah, let's start. Just a little bit of what we will cover today. So just a brief overview of why we need to introduce. We needed to introduce the new MySubway career and the new features. Some quick info about the first login and new domains. What happens to the old platform? The difference between a candidate and an applicant. The mini profile, what it does. We'll then move on to demo how to perform the three most important functions on the platform. First one being how to post a job. How a great feature of the new platform is CV search, where you can filter your search and land the right candidate from thousands of applicants. For example, if you want someone close to your location and has previous Subway experience, if you're looking for a junior role, you can also add an additional filter to all candidates. I'll take you through that. Also on how to process applicants. Of course, probably the most important of the three is now that you have created a job and received applications, how to process these applications. And lastly, we'll talk about support and training. So let's dive into it. The old MySubway career platform was going end of life at the start of the year, and we had to move to a new platform. We went through an extensive market review to find a new solution with enhanced features in line with contemporary recruitment requirements. We selected TriPad in the UK as our recruitment platform partner, which is used by many multinational organizations such as KFC, BBC, Pizza Hut, etc. Obviously, this is a major change and might require some learning curve before we are all comfortable with the system. We're always ready to assist however we can. Today's training session should provide you enough information to carry out the routine tasks. So let's briefly talk about the new features and benefits. You are now in charge of when and how many roles you want to advertise. You can now promote your jobs through Indeed.com and also through Facebook and LinkedIn. We might onboard more social media platforms as the solution evolves. Please do take note that only jobs for the roles of sandwich artist and restaurant manager will be advertised on Indeed. That's because the team member role has a generic job description. That's why that one is not advertised. Otherwise, it will look like lots of same jobs on the platform. Also, okay, so about automated communication. So that's another benefit. The system has pre-written emails, so you don't want to spend time writing those emails. These emails will be triggered as part of the application processing, and you will be able to edit the text in majority of cases if you want to before sending the email. CV search. For time's sake, I'll leave this bit when we demo the function. Obviously, the new website is more appealing to the millennial audience. Smart questionnaires. Another great feature is the situational judgment test questionnaire developed by psychologists specifically for Subway restaurants. All these questions are scored and you get a final score for all completed applications. More on that later. Okay, let's go to the next one. So the new domains. As you can see, there's different domains by country, but this is all, by the way, included in the quick start guide, so you don't need to note them down. The candidate-facing website is what used to be the old My Subway Career, which is mysubwaycareer.com.au for Australia. And the franchise owner login is by appending login at the start, so login.mysubwaycareer.com.au. The old platform was supposed to have been decommissioned by now, but it's still live. If you might have some applicants there still, but it has all the links have been redirected, but people are able to access it still through links, which we are trying to investigate how. But it's a very minimal number. So if you want to check whether you have some applications sitting on the old platform, you should be able to do that today. All right, so how to log in a new domain? I think, yeah, so there was just the old My Subway Career, just a reminder to go and download. I think I missed this bit, which is how to log in new domains. So just some information about accounts for all franchise owners have already been created. You just need to click the forgotten password link in your welcome email and enter your email address, which will send you an email asking you to create a new password. If you can't find the welcome email, that's okay. You can also go directly to the franchise owner portal on the link I mentioned and click on the forgot password link. To log in, use your email address as your username and your new password. All right. There's one more thing which is not mentioned here, which is the manage component, which is called Tripod Manage, which we'll not go into today. This is just for when you want to create your delegates, such as restaurant managers, to be able to manage the recruitment on your behalf. Okay, so let me now get to the interesting part, which is showing you how to post a job and share to social and Indeed, how to use CV search to find new candidates, and how to process applicants. So I'm not feeling so well with my throat today, so if my voice sounds a bit funny, please pardon my accent. All right. Oops, wrong window. Let me quickly go through. Before I show you, I'll just quickly show you what the candidate sees. So this is where the candidate enters, accesses when they go to a particular their country's URL. They type in the location. Let's say I type in the auto-suggested results. So they click on it, and then they see all the restaurants in the area sorted by distance. So as you can see, the distance at the end is increasing as we go along. They can select multiple jobs at one time at the maximum of 10. So they select the checkbox on the side. Let's apply to these 3 restaurants. They'll just click new and they will enter the email, first name, last name, and they'll be taken to the application form. So that's quickly, very briefly, how the candidate accesses the platform. All right, now the franchise owner portal. Okay, so let me log up so I can show you the forgotten password link. So this is where you come when you go to login.mysubwaycareer.com.au. You would, if you're logging in for the first time, you just click on forgot password here. You will enter your email address and submit, and that will send you an email with the password reset link. So once you have reset your password, you're back here to log in. And once you log in, you see the dashboard, the applications pane on this here. Oh, sorry, maybe summary first. So you can, if you had any, or this user had any interviews scheduled today, they would come up here with a number of interviews, tasks pending, referrals, my active jobs. So this user has 5 active jobs at the moment. Expired jobs is when you advertise a job like sandwich artist and it expired, that number will show up here. Applications is the flow applications by day. So you can see there's a variance. So on the 30th of April, the store received, oh, well, not the store, this user's restaurants received 5 applications, as you can see. So this is just a kind of a infographic on how the applications are flowing to your restaurants. And the jobs shows you all the jobs you have advertised with the applications excuse me, with application numbers for each restaurant, so you can get a good grasp of how the recruitment activity is performing. We will not cover these panes on the side, view tasks and referral. That we'll leave for an advanced session. All right, sorry, took a while to get here. So let's begin with how to post a job and share to social. All right, so all restaurants which existed as of 31st January 2019 have been assigned a job post for an evergreen role at launch. An evergreen role is a generic role where candidates can apply for either sandwich artist or restaurant manager or both at the same time. Also, it's evergreen, so it does not expire, as evident from the name. All right, sorry. Excuse me. This also serves as an anchor for your restaurant to continue to receive applications even when you're not actively looking for new staff. You can close the job if you don't want to receive applications, but do be mindful that once you have taken the evergreen role off the platform, your restaurant will not appear in the search results on the candidate-facing website unless you have any other active job posts at the time. So let's start with the demo of how simple and quick it is to create a job. Please do note that the evergreen role is not published on Indeed because of its generic job description, as I mentioned before. Once you publish a job for a sandwich artist or restaurant manager, they're automatically transmitted to Indeed for advertisement. Also, we have noticed that you start to receive more applications once you publish these roles. So I'd strongly recommend you to please go and create your own role. And see how simple it is, as I will show you now. So you go to jobs menu, you go to add a job, and you land up here. There's a filter here for the type of role you want to advertise. So let's say I want to advertise sandwich artist, and then I will choose the country for which the sandwich artist role is for. So let's say I select sandwich artist Australia. This will guide the form to be populated below. So as you can see now, there's a lot of fields which have appeared. You will obviously select a restaurant. Let's say I pick. There's a long thread of text. That's because of how the system is set up, but you primarily have to just type in your restaurant number and the specific restaurant will appear. So you can just select it by typing and searching for the restaurant. You will see a lot of fields with a padlock. So those are fields which are pre-populated for your convenience, and you don't need to do anything. There are some fields which are not pre-populated, like number of positions you want to advertise, contract time, is it full-time, part-time, what sort of contract it is. Other than that, the restaurant address, country, obviously they are pre-populated based on the data from the database, and this restaurant you selected at the top. So if you are happy with the pre-populated fields, you don't need to do anything other than, just to recap, you select your template, you select your restaurant, and that is pretty much all you need to do on this page, and you click next. It's loading up, slow for some reason. And then all the job description, etc., is also pre-populated. So all you need to do is select the template, enter the restaurant number, click next, and click publish. So that's how simple it is to publish a job. I won't click publish now because that will actually publish a job, as this is a live platform. So literally takes not longer than a minute to publish a new job. As I mentioned, I would encourage you to please go and do that, because that increases the number of applications you receive. So it is then published on Indeed.com. All right. Should I show you now how to? Yeah, well, no, why not? I'll show you how to then share this. So you publish a new role, it went to Indeed automatically, nothing to be. For Facebook and LinkedIn, you will come back to the candidate-facing website, and then you will find your restaurant. Let's say my restaurant was in Clementi, so this is the website. So I'm entering a Singapore location, and then I will see which is specific. So you can see the addresses here as well, unless your restaurant is not at the top. So let's say I say, you don't need to select it, sorry. So you can see there's two icons right at the right side. There's a Facebook icon and LinkedIn icon. All you need to do is click on one of them, whichever one you want to share it on, and it will guide you through the process of publishing it on that platform. So if you're already logged in, it will come up with a post. You need to just type in whatever you want to type and you send it over. So that's how simple it is. Similarly with LinkedIn, you click on it and it will guide you through the process by prompts. All right, so that covers that bit. Okay, so we have how to add a new job. Let's move on to how to use CV search to find new candidates. CV search is probably the best addition for the new platform. As the platform is evolving, you will have an ever-growing pool of applications to search from, or applicants to search from. The system allows you to use various filters to narrow down your search. Let me show you an example. So you click on the CV search button at the top of the menu. You come up to this screen. Over here, apologies. Over here, you can search by any keywords, just like Google search. But if you want to do some, so all on the left here, you would see all the filters. These stars you see on the right are basically matching whatever your search criteria is. So we haven't put any search criteria, hence everyone has got 5 stars. But let's say if I want to say, show me candidates within a certain distance from my location who are looking for a subway role. I will go and enter my location, so let's say I place Australia, and I say Liverpool. And that will be, and let's say I select, so this is the slider for the distance you want to search under. So let's say I say within 19 kilometers for example's sake. So this has narrowed down the list of available applicants within this distance. And then you can, so that's one filter you have applied. You can see the number of applicants is it's reduced now 2,120 within that area, which is incredible. And then you can go, I think it's still filtering. It's going back to 4,000 for some reason. That's even better. Anyway, so that's one filter you've already applied. Then you can go to another type of filter. So let's say I say this one is, so you can see by role. So there's 3 roles available for them to apply. That's because based on the team member role. So when they select a team member, they can select which role they want to apply for, either sandwich artist or restaurant manager. So you can filter based on that, or say, so internal here, the type of candidate. So you can say internal candidate, which will mean that someone who is working for Subway, and they're looking for a role in your area. So you obviously within your area with Subway experience is a good combo, I guess, for restaurants looking for hiring staff. So as you can see, this person Rajani has have been a sandwich artist and they are looking for a role within your area. So things are, so this is pretty good. So once you once you want someone to apply to your restaurant, you can say invite or apply right here. So I say invite or apply, and then, sorry, I think I didn't select this particular. So if I select it and click on invite or apply, oh, it still shows. So it seems like this person has applied to various roles. All right, so I select sandwich artist and I say invite candidate, and that will generate an email to that particular candidate, and I will then contact you with their application, or they can go in and lodge their application for your restaurant. So that gives you a good idea of how CV search works. Let's say I want to narrow down my search based on a skill. Let's say I want to say, so you see how that number is 28? That's because we applied only to internal candidates, which means they have worked for Subway. So now it's going back to search in the location only within 19 kilometers. So I say, give me someone with the experience as a barista. I type it in, and it'll go and search for those candidates who have mentioned barista in their profile or in the CV. Searching, and now you can see first person, Gloria Jeans barista. So just an example. I'm not sure if you need a barista, but that's an example of how narrowed you can go with the searches. So you see in Liverpool, around Liverpool within 19 kilometers, there's 154 candidates with that experience. You can still see 5 stars. That's because it will bring up the closest matches, but now you see the stars start to drop off as the search narrows down. So that's, I think, a good explanation of how CV search works. You see advanced search, obviously search kind of like Google. It's either all of these keywords, exact phrase, wording, etc. I think I've spent too much time on CV search, but as I said, it's quite powerful. You can play with it to find the right candidate for you. Secondly, I think, what else can I think that's probably enough for CV search. Let me move on to the main part of your, I guess, when you're recruiting, is how to process applicants. So the best way to do that, there are various options, but the best way to do that will be you go to jobs menu and then you click on view job list beta. I know this is confusing, but the view job list without beta will go away soon, within a couple of weeks. But so this one will become the new one, but at the moment it's called beta because that applies to testing it. But in my experience, it's pretty ready, so it doesn't need much more testing. Please do ask any questions if you have. I will carry on, and if you have questions, I will respond to them as we go. So when you come to view jobs list, you will see all jobs under your restaurant domain. So this particular user has 5 active jobs, 4 for team member role and 1 for sandwich artist. So you can see the stages within each restaurant. So this restaurant has 4 new applications, 3 of which are completed, and 3 candidates have been shortlisted. So you will see a snapshot of all the activity within your restaurant domain. If I just want to see completed applications, which we have got from your feedback, I will just click on the submitted stage. If I click on submitted stage here, it will bring up all the applications which are complete. And then you can see their scores, which are based on the situational judgment test questions. There are total 8 situational judgment questions in the questionnaire. If I want to look at any particular user's responses to those questions, I will go and the little square here, which will open up the questionnaire, and I can see what they have answered. You will see the score 0 for all these questions in the beginning. That's because these are descriptive questions or subjective questions. They are not scored. Only the situational judgment questions are scored. So the questions are you 21 years of age or under? This person has said yes. If you're under 21 years of age, please enter your date of birth. So they have entered their date of birth. Apologies. So you can see pretty much all the questions here. If you want to just look at the questionnaire, and if you come down, you will see the situational judgment test questions, which start at question 20. Any correct answer for the most likely response is score of 2, and if they answer the least likely option correctly, they get a score of 1. So a total of 3 for each question. Total of 8 questions ends up being a score out of 24. So you can see in this instance they have answered this option, which was not correct, so 0 marks and 1 mark for the getting the right least likely option. So also the guideline about the scoring is right at the top of the questionnaire. So you can see 2 points are awarded for getting the most likely response right and 1 point awarded for least likely right. So just in case, a score of 12 is good and a maximum score is 24. So based on that, let's say you have received 100 applications. Obviously, you'd want to look at those with good scores first. So you would go to the sort option. This is a bit non-descriptive, so if I zoom in, you will see that's actually a icon with arrows. So that's the sorting option. So that's the sorting option. You click on the pre questions, and I will click on the questionnaire score option. So this is basically to sort all the applications by the score they have received. So now you can see, wow, that's the highest score I've seen, 22 out of 24. So now these are scored. So you can see it's easy if you have a lot of applications to just sort them by score and then go through those. Also, you can see there's an eye icon right at the left, where this represents whether you have seen this profile before or not. So you can see if it's grayed out, that means no profile views yet, and if it is not, that means that this applicant has been viewed before. If you have been looking at applications for a while, you just want to see the new applicants, you can sort the score, sort the applications by modified time, or if you're looking for a person by a particular name, you can sort it by surname, or you can also search for the particular applicant by searching for the name in the field above, right at the top. Okay, so too much talking about sorting this stuff out, but once you, all right, sorry. So obviously you want to see the overall profile of the applicant. The best way to do that is through the mini profile or the profile, as you can see right at the, on the right side for the applicant. So you click on this icon here, and it will open up the summary of the person's job application. As you can see, their career, all of the questionnaire answers, along with those, and the CV they have uploaded. So that is, once you have been through their applications and you're happy with it, you can either click on the cog icon here, where you can select what you want to do. So you can either add them to the shortlist, from where you will then look at it again and select people for an interview, or you can progress them directly to interview, or you can reject them if you so want, because of any reason, to get this application is filtered out. You can also go directly to other options, where you will have options to say this person has already been hired. That's probably after you've interviewed. So we do encourage you to please go in and change it to hired once you have hired someone, so that they don't appear in other people's searches. Job offer extended. That means you have extended the offer and you're waiting for the response. Email CV questionnaire. That's a good one. From what I've heard from franchise owners, you will click on it so that if you want to email the question CV, obviously descriptive enough, you can click on it and you just type in the email address you want these to be mailed to. You can also merge the files into a single PDF, and you can also say attach questionnaire as well. So that way you can get it by email, you can print it off and then look at it at your leisure. I can also select multiple applicants and do that for multiple applicants. So that's another good way to do this. Uh, all right, so I clicked on suggested. That's why it was going 0. All right, so as I said, you can do this emailing question and CV by selecting multiple applicants. So you can see that, sorry, that was the one way of processing applicants, by going into the mini profile and clicking on the cog icon. Or you can, once you have looked at, let's say I've looked at these 3 candidates and I want to maybe put them all to shortlist, or process them all to interview, or maybe I want to send the CV and questionnaire for all these 3. So I will say merge all files into a single PDF and attach questionnaire and email it to myself or whoever I want to email to. So that's a handy option for you to have that information available, or if you want to print out an application correctly. Working with the supplier where you'll be able to go into mini profile and have a print button here. I know at this time it's not possible to print this application from here, but we are working on that to make that happen. So yeah, so that is how you process an applicant. I did not mention about the difference between candidate versus applicant. So the difference between a candidate and an applicant is that a candidate is a potential applicant who has not yet completed the application, whereas an applicant is someone who has fulfilled all the formalities for the job application. In other words, completed the application. So I think that is pretty much covers the whole thing. I think I'll just do a quick recap. So we covered how to add a new job. So you go to jobs menu and you click on add new job. All you need to do is select the right template. I can either filter the templates or I can just go sandwich AU for Australia. And without change, if I don't want to change anything, all I need to do is select the restaurant number. So let's say I want to go with 151-1. Oops. I select the restaurant number, I click next, and on the next page I click publish. So that's how easy it is to publish a job. For CV search, we went through the filters on the left side. Excuse me. This is taking a while for some reason today. I think the internet is a bit slow. All right, so the filters on the left you can select. So I showed you how to select a location to base your search for, and also if you are interested in a particular role, or type of candidate is where you go if you want someone who has subway experience. And you can also type a particular skill if you're looking for, or any particular areas you're looking for. And we saw about how to process an applicant. So you will go to view jobs list. As I mentioned, the other one will go away. And then if you want to look at completed applications, or if you want to look at all of the applications, you just click on the new stage or separate stage. And then you can look at their mini profile by clicking on the person icon right at the right side. This will open up the mini profile. If you're happy with that person, you can either process them mini profile by clicking on the cog icon, or you can process the applications in bulk if you like, through selecting multiple checkboxes and then going to the cog icon and then adding them, or so adding them to a shortlist, processing to interview, or even just emailing the questionnaire and CV. I think that is the main 3 functions we are going to cover today. Right, so let's do a recap. Why the new MSc and the benefits we talked about. We talked about the new domains and how to log in. What happens to the old platform, the difference between candidate and an applicant, how to view a mini profile, It's no longer a mini profile. It used to be called a mini profile, so it's been changed to profile. So I'll change the tag accordingly. How to post a job and share to social and Indeed, we covered. How to use CV search to find new candidates. How to process applicants. And what we didn't cover was where to find more information. Let me just, if I have the, all right, so more information, obviously there's a help button right at the top. So you click on it and it will take you to the IPCA support page for myself Wikipedia. You will log in and you will be directed to the right page. You've got the guides and other like FAQs, as you can see here, quick start guide, user guide, frequently asked questions, etc. There's quite a bit of information. If you wanted to, let's say, create a delegate user, there's a guide available. So it says, how do I create a delegate user? You can just go here and download the guide or look at it and follow the follow the instructions, and you'll be able to create a user who you want to manage your recruitment needs. All right, so yeah, that's help and support. I have not seen any questions. It could be a good thing. That means you've understood everything. Or if you come up with questions later on, please feel free to email mysoftwarecareer@ipca.biz, and we will be more than happy to assist. If you think your restaurant information needs to be updated, please email here, restaurant location or email address or name, whatever you would like to be updated. Please email mysoftwarecareer@ipca.biz, and we will be more than happy to assist. All right, and lastly, your feedback is extremely important for us, and we have been adding enhancement based on the feedback we have received so far. For example, the ability to filter out incomplete applications has been added after feedback from franchise owners, and there have been various other improvements, like the eye icon, which wasn't there before. So please do let us know if you have any feedback, and that really helps us improve the solution as we are going along for the whole of the franchise owner community. All right, I would say thank you again. I know you have a very busy schedule, so you've taken time out to attend the session today. I hope this has been helpful. Any comments about the training material, anything like that, please email it to us. We really appreciate all the feedback we can get so that we can cater this training session and according to what you need. Okay, so thank you everyone. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day, and any questions? More than happy to help. Thank you very much.